Hey you, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So who is this video for? Well, if you are in a business partnerships or if you are thinking of starting your business by partnering with somebody else, then this video might be just the thing that will help you set up your partnership in the right way. And what I'm trying to say here is that most partnerships, they start, like, oh, let's start this business and we will, be 50-50 or 60-40, 70-30, whatever the percentages are. And then we look at everything that's happening in the business, the money coming in, the money going out, through that lens of 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, and so on. But that's not really the best way to do it, because at different stages of your entrepreneurial journey, your company will sometimes need more of you. Sometimes your company will need less of you. Sometimes you will feel that you want to do more, and at certain times you might want to make a pause, take a break, go on a longer vacation with your family. As you go through your entrepreneurial journey, maybe your personal goals might change. Maybe when you start a company, you are still at a younger age, you don't have many responsibilities, and you can just be an entrepreneur 24/7. But then, you meet somebody, you start your family, you want to have a more balanced life, you want to dedicate more of your life to your family, to your friends, or maybe to some non-profit causes that you support. And you might want to take a step back, while your partner might be in a different situation and they want to just maintain the 24/7 entrepreneur lifestyle. So things can change, and things often do change. And when we look through everything that we do on the business and in the business through that same metric of whatever percentage is between you and your partner or partners, if there are many different partners, can at some point lead to maybe you feeling that you aren't compensated enough, or another partner feeling that you contribute more or you contribute less, and it can become a problem. So what we usually do when we have clients who are in partnerships, we try to separate in the business and on the business part. So let's say you and I, we start a business and we start it as a 50-50 partnership. So you own 50% of the company, I own 50% of the company. Why? Because it just makes sense to do it in that way. And we go for it and we do it. Maybe, something else makes more sense, and we are 60-40 or 70-30 or 90-10 or whatever makes sense while we are talking about starting a business. And then we would do a second thing is, okay, so what are the things that you will do in the business? What are the things that I will do in the business? And is there anything else that needs to happen in the business so that the business can be successful? So let's say I like marketing and sales, so I'll do that part. You love the delivery of what we are doing, so you'll take care of that. But then, there's other things. There's customer experience, there's HR, finances, legal stuff, and a whole bunch of different things that also need to happen. There's some leadership and people management that needs to happen, and so on. So we would start with mapping out org chart of how our business is supposed to look like to be successful, and so that we have everything covered. Then we will fill those boxes with either Miha or you. we would put which box will be done by who. And then my question would be, okay, if we would need to hire for a marketing role, how much would that person cost us? What kind of person would we want to hire? And what is the market value to hire that person? Now, we might not need a marketing person full time. Maybe we just need that person for 20% of the time. And so we would say, okay, the base yearly paycheck of that marketing person is, well, let's just, make up numbers. Let's say it's $100,000 per year paycheck for that role. But because we only need that role 20% of the time, roughly, that would mean that this role, if neither me or you would step into this role, would cost us 20,000 US dollars. And then, we would go through all of the other roles in the same manner. And then we would say, okay, let's open an Excel sheet and let's put all of these different roles. Let's track how much time we spend in those roles. We would calculate those numbers into hourly thing. And let's say, oh, wow, now I need to calculate off my hand. No, I'm not gonna do that. Let's just say that 20,000 a year would be equivalent of $100 an hour. Let's just say that, even though it's most certainly not true. And so every time when I would do something about marketing in that specific role, because marketing might be marketing manager, and then social media manager and content creator, and all of those different roles can have different hourly rates. But yeah, just to simplifying it, let's say that there's one role, marketing, and it encompasses everything, and we assign $100 an hour for that role. So every time when I would do that, we would use a simple, tool for tracking time. There's plenty of them out there, and I would track and I would say, oh, I did half an hour of marketing. That's equivalent to $50. And we would put that into the Excel sheet. Why into the Excel sheet? Because if we're just starting out and maybe we are bootstrapping, we don't have the money to pay ourselves right now. But let's just put that into the Excel sheet. And then once we start making money, before paying ourselves as shareholders 50-50, first let's pay us for everything that we did in the business before we pay ourselves for what we do on the business. And now stay with me for a little bit longer. So now that we have this setup where we get compensated fairly for everything that we do in the business, we already have a budget. So if I want to step away from marketing and I say, you know what, I'm done, I can't do marketing anymore, let's just hire somebody. We already have a budget. We can, afford to pay that person, and I will be compensated less, but the company will still have that same cost. And so when we calculate profits at the end of the quarter or at the end of the year, that would already be calculated towards. And so when we divide pure profits, it is after we pay everything in the business first. And so then we just divide profits 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, whatever the percentage is. Does that make any sense? Because then it gives us more freedom to both you and I on doing more. Oh, I need to earn more money. I'll take more responsibilities in the business, or, I'm happy with what I get as a shareholder. I will take myself slowly out of in the business. And the business will be taken care of. The business will continue to move forward and to grow. And yeah, I will just be paid as a shareholder, but not on everything else. And this is where a lot of business partnerships go south. Why? Because they start at something and then things change over time, and usually one partner is more involved, another partner is less involved. Or, one partner thinks that he's contributing more value to the firm than the other one, and so on. And then they start, thinking like, why do I have to split everything 50-50, but I'm doing more? So if I'm doing more, that should be reflected in the business part. And if I'm doing more, I will get compensated more. Or if I'm doing more demanding roles, if I'm more in the management roles than in the operational roles, well, the management roles will be paid more on an hourly rate. Maybe we can even have, bonuses. I'm doing sales, so I get certain percentage from every sales. I get paid for the role of salesperson, and I get some incentive, just the way you would do it with any other salesperson anyway. And so I feel that I'm fairly compensated. So we need to talk through things so that we both feel that it's fair. That's why I tend to look at market rates for particular roles, and just take something that's, like an average market rate, because otherwise it doesn't make sense to pay me, let's say, twice as much as what we can get on the market, and it's at a good level. If we can get a senior salesperson for half the money, then that should signal me, stay away from that role. You're not needed in that role. We can hire a cheaper person. And so I have now more time to do some other things that are probably more important and where I can contribute more value than doing things where we can hire somebody who is just as good to do it for a cheaper hourly rate. So you might make better business decisions, and you probably will keep your partnership alive for much longer, because eventually, at some point, after a few years, things change. And when those changes happen, those initial agreements and those initial percentages don't make any sense anymore. And then that's when, we start having difficult conversations, or we are even avoiding having those conversations, and we just, boil on the inside. That's even worse. So yeah, if you want to have a very happy relationship with your business partners, separating on the business as a shareholder. As a shareholder, you don't really have many things to do. Like once a year, basically, you have to vote on whether you still believe that the CEO has your trust to continue being the CEO. Your role in the beginning is to set the vision and the way you want this company to accomplish what it is out there to accomplish. And that's basically it. You don't have many responsibilities as a shareholder, but you might have a lot of responsibilities when it comes to in the business stuff. Separating those two will definitely help you have a more healthy relationship with your other business partners, co-founders that are also in the business with equity share, and just more long-term happiness and sustainability of your business. So yeah, think about it. And if you have any further questions on this topic, do let me know. You can, connect with me on LinkedIn. You can drop a comment below, and I can certainly create more videos on this topic, and we can talk about it further. But for today, I think this is more than enough. So I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.